Club Presidents, Jennifer DeRoyne here, coming to you from my meditation room. I'm just kidding. It's my kids' playroom, which is the exact opposite of meditation. But hey, it's a new year, so maybe there's hope. Anyhow, I wanted to reflect on the fact that we're halfway through this year. So we've completed 6 months and we have 6 months left to go, which brings me to the point of our Finishing Strong series. Now, I want to make sure that we don't think about this as, or it's not perceived as a my year initiative. That's not the point. The Finishing Strong series is meant to help us do two things. Number one, it's meant to help us think about what are the short-term initiatives that we intended to complete in this Rotary year, knowing that we have a long-term vision, and that secondly, we're getting ready to pass this baton on to somebody else. So the idea between Finishing Strong is, number one, what are those little things that we're going to finish this year to make incremental progress towards our short and long-term goals? And then number two, what are the things that we're doing to help those presidents-elect, those people that either were already in place or that you just voted in last month, position themselves so that they can be the most successful for their Rotary year. So that's the ultimate purpose of the Finishing Strong series. So the second thing I want to talk to you about today is public image. If we think about Rotary like we think about our business, because most of us come from that perspective, we've either are in business or have been in business. We know that there are three basic areas of our business. We have our operations, we have sales, and we have finance. So we're going to just focus today on the sales leg. If we think about operations in the business of Rotary, that's the day-to-day task of taking care of our members. Are we doing the things that help keep the members that we have? So I want to think a little bit about sales. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm passionate about membership for a lot of reasons. And I used to really only want to focus on that operational component because I knew that we really had a lot of work to do to work on retaining the people that we have. And that is still very much true. But I have finally accepted the fact that we're always going to have to be recruiting and selling, bringing new people into Rotary. So namaste, I've accepted it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about sales. There's two ways that we go about sales, whether it's in business or whether it's in Rotary. It's the same concept. There's that business development component where I go ask you, one person, do you want to come and have an experience with us at Rotary? The other side of that is the marketing side, where we go out and we tell a story to a large group of people to expose them to who we are and get them excited to come to us. So we generate traffic coming inbound in a mass versus a one-on-one. Now, I'm not saying that we don't do both, because we do, that we're very good at that one-on-one, but that mass storytelling helps supplement that one-on-one. So if I go out and I ask Sally Smith to come join Rotary, if she's had the opportunity to hear about us, to see imagery, to read stories that are compelling, Sally is going to be more likely to want to say, yeah, I've heard of that group. That sounds interesting. I'd like to join you. Or maybe somebody might see some information online and just decide that they want to reach out on their own. So that's the area I want to talk a little bit about. We're very good at the business development track. We have some room for improvement on the mass storytelling. There's a couple ways that we can go about that. Number one is the press release. And of course, in some markets that works very well because the newspapers are susceptible and open and will publish what we send. In other markets, that becomes a little bit more difficult. So we can't always control that. We can try, we can work at it, we can hope, we can provide them with good stories, good images. It will increase the likelihood of them publishing what we send. But the other piece we can control, of course, is social media. And that's an area where there's a lot of opportunity for us to be able to take advantage of its channels and the platform and really get strategic about what we're doing. So one way to think about that strategy is to say, when we look at our club, does our club look like our community? If our club does not look like our community and we want to target specific demographics, we can do so very easily on a social media platform through targeted advertising. Now this is a tiny bit more advanced, but it's really not that difficult, and it's something that we are experimenting with at the district level. If that's something that you are interested in doing at your club, we would love to help you think about how you can create content that is compelling to specific audiences and then put that information in front of them. Okay, so that's a little bit of an advanced strategy, but let me just back up and talk about a couple of more basic and beginner things that I see clubs doing well. Number one, I see a few clubs that are posting their meetings as an event online. That makes it very easy for people to be able to say, hey, I want to invite you. I'm going to forward or invite you to join this event. Come to me with it, whether it's a regular club meeting or it's a service project, fundraiser, whatever it is. It makes it very easy for your members to do that. I see some clubs posting great pictures of people of action. So this picture is one that I took early in the year. It was May of this year in St. Anthony. The reason I love this picture is a couple of things. Number one, it's up close, so we see great detail. We don't get lost in a lot of background minutia, so we can see the people up close. Number two, it has people in it, which is generally has a more of an emotional response than just stuff. So we see people. The third reason I love it is those people are in action. They're not just posing. So that's just one little tip about taking great images that tell a story, and then of course your words will accompany that. So what I'm seeing by and large when I'm at clubs is oftentimes our very newest members are in charge of public image, which is great. I love that. Let's plug them in. The other side of that is sometimes they're really still learning. They're getting their rotary wheels going and they're figuring stuff out. So sometimes they need a little bit more help. So a couple things, we're coming up with some brown bag webinars. Michaela Swarthout, who is the District Public Image Chair, is going to be teaching some best practices for obviously social media that I'm talking about today, as well as bulletins, which is our internal public communications, as well as a website, Club Runner Basics, all those different things. So if you have something specific in mind, you can let her know and she will add it to the agenda. But I see this need for more training to help our public image chairs at the club level utilize the many tools that are available at the Rotary Brand Center, as well as thinking through strategy and thinking about how can we put out the story that we want to put out? How do we help create an image that is attractive and compelling to others to say, hey, I'm interested in that. I want to go learn a little bit more. And then hopefully when they go to your website, they see something great and they want to continue on their exploration journey. So suffice all this to say is that if you don't have a public image strategy today, I want to encourage you to think about what it might take to put something simple together. You don't have to make it complicated. It can be simple, and it can be a small army of people. I think the clubs that have some of the best social media activity, they do have a small group of individuals. So it's not just one person that is charged with managing it all, because sometimes I'm at an event, sometimes you're at an event, sometimes they're at an event, whatever it is, somebody that's there in the moment can capture a picture, post it, prepare it for a press release, whatever it is, so that you have multiple people with multiple responsibilities. So again, reach out if you have questions. We would be happy to help you think about strategy, both from a club perspective as well as a regional perspective, maybe a group of clubs. We'd love to help you think about how you can improve communications internally as well as externally. That all of that is our public image, and there's opportunities for us to do a little bit more without creating too much work, because I know that we're an army of volunteers. I just want to close with, I just can't thank you enough. This has been an amazing experience. I can't thank you enough for all the work that you're doing, and I want you to know that I'm here to help. We're halfway through the year, but the work is not done, and it's just been a real joy getting to do this with you, walk side by side, and I'm ready to help you finish strong in 2019. Thanks, Club Presidents.